Assalamu alaikum, dear brothers and sisters. Welcome to Discover Islam channel. Have you ever wondered how the very first act of zina happened in human history? It didn't start with words. It didn't start with touching. It didn't even start with a private meeting. It started with something far more subtle and far more dangerous. It began with music, played openly, shamelessly, for one purpose: to awaken desires, to break barriers, and to pull the hearts of people away from modesty and closer to sin. The first community that fell into zina didn't fall overnight. They were slowly softened, entertained, distracted, until their hearts no longer recognized what was wrong. So here's the question. If music was strong enough to lead an entire generation to the first zina ever committed, what is it doing to us today? Because what destroyed them is being repeated again, loudly, publicly, and globally. And most people don't even realize they're walking the same path. Remember to like the video, subscribe, and activate the bell so you don't miss a thing. Share this video with your loved ones, as this knowledge can literally change a life. When we look back at the earliest generations of humankind after Prophet Adam, we imagine innocence, purity, and a people who lived close to the guidance of Allah. And yes, this was true at first. Humanity began with clarity. They knew Tawheed. They lived with modesty. They feared Allah and followed His messengers. But as time passed, hearts weakened, desires grew, and the whispers of Shaytaan became louder. And among the most tragic chapters of early human history was not just the first murder, but the first time zina was committed on earth. It didn't happen randomly. It didn't happen instantly. It happened through a long, slow, carefully planned strategy from Shaytaan himself. A strategy that he repeats today, with even more power, more tools, and more influence. To understand this story, we must return to the people who came many generations after Adam. A righteous community once lived among them. Good men, good women, known by names such as Wad, Suwa, Yagith, Yuluk, and Nasr. They were not prophets, but they were examples. People looked up to them, followed their advice, and gathered around them for guidance. But when these righteous individuals died, Shaytaan found his opportunity. He whispered to the people, "Make statues of them, not to worship, only to remember them." And people agreed. It sounded harmless. When these statues were complete, Shaytaan whispered again to the next generation, "Your fathers only built these statues because they used to rely on them. These figures brought them blessings." And so, slowly, the statues became objects of admiration, then respect, then rituals, then outright worship. This was the beginning of shirk. And where shirk exists, sin becomes easier. The heart that loses Allah loses shame. Over generations, the people became more worldly. Their desires became stronger. Their modesty became weaker. Villages began separating men and women, not for protection, but for entertainment and gatherings. And Shaytaan noticed something important. Humans are not easily destroyed by a single command, but they can be destroyed by gradual steps. So he whispered to the men, "Have a festival, enjoy yourselves." And he whispered to the women in their separate area, "Have a festival, but make it more beautiful." But the enemy of mankind wasn't finished. He needed a tool, a weapon that could weaken the heart before the body followed. What did he choose? Music, rhythm, voice, beating drums. Melodies designed not to uplift the soul, but to awaken desire. Shaytaan taught them the first musical instrument. He inspired them with beats that made the body move, the heart soft, the mind distracted. The women were convinced to beautify themselves, decorate their appearances, wear perfume, and sing. And soon, the women's festival became loud, joyful, musical. The men heard it from a distance. A rhythm they had never heard before. A beauty they had never imagined. A sound that pierced through their hearts like a silent fire. Curiosity replaced caution. Attraction replaced modesty. Desire replaced fear of Allah. One man walked toward the sound, then another, and another, until crowds of men gathered around the place where the women were singing with music. They peeked, they stared, they smiled, they chatted, they flirted, and slowly, that gathering, built upon entertainment, became the first mixing between men and women with no modesty, no rules, no fear of Allah. Then came touching. Then came privacy. Then came the first act of zina on earth. This was not a coincidence. This was a result of a Shaytanic strategy built step by step. Loss of righteous role models. Shirk entering the community. Separation into entertainment groups. Introduction of music. Beautification mixed with singing. Attraction and social mixing. Desires awakening. Boundaries collapsing. Zina committed. Nothing happened instantly. Everything happened through slow corruption. This exact pattern is what Allah warns us about in the Quran when he says, "Do not follow the footsteps of Shaytaan." Shaytaan does not drag you into sin. He walks you into it. Now fast forward to today. Ask yourself, is our world any different? Music is no longer hidden. It is everywhere. In cars, in shops, in weddings, in TikToks, reels, games, ads, apps, everywhere you turn. It is not only sound now. It is combined with images, dancing, lyrics, attraction, beauty, bodies, and lifestyles designed to weaken the heart and awaken desires. Look at how entertainment is structured today. Men and women mixing dancing seduction, singing beats that pull emotion, screens that expose the heart to temptation, influencers who normalize what Allah made haram. Is this not the exact blueprint Shaytaan used the first time? The Prophet said that in the end times, many people will try to make zina normal and music acceptable. They will treat it as harmless, just like Shaytaan convinced the first people. But what did it lead to? Destruction. When zina first appeared among that ancient community, their dignity collapsed, their families shattered, their spiritual strength died, their punishment from Allah came swiftly, and their story became a warning, one we are now repeating. Allah tells us in the Quran to lower the gaze, not to punish us, but to protect us, because the gaze leads to desire. Desire leads to thoughts. Thoughts lead to action, and action leads to regret, guilt, and punishment. Allah tells men and women to guard their modesty, because once modesty is gone, the heart becomes vulnerable. The Prophet said, when a person commits zina, faith leaves him until he stops. Meaning, zina is not a small slip. It is a spiritual earthquake. Today, the world is pushing the same path. Music mixed with beauty, beauty mixed with desire, desire mixed with access, access mixed with privacy, privacy mixed with sin. The pattern has not changed. Only the tools have changed. Back then, Shaytaan gave them drums and voices. Today, he gives people smartphones, apps, and playlists. Back then, he used a festival. Today, he uses concerts, clubs, events, and virtual platforms. Back then, he used singers. Today, he uses celebrities, influencers, and viral trends. And if the first zina in history required only simple music, imagine the effect of multi-billion-dollar industries built to target your desires. But Islam does not tell this story to break us. Allah does not warn us to crush hope. There's a reason this story survived. To wake us up before we repeat it completely. Allah is the most merciful. He says, "O my servants who have wronged themselves, do not despair the mercy of Allah." Meaning, even if someone has fallen into sins, even if they have crossed lines, the door of repentance is open until the soul reaches the throat. The same Allah who punished the previous nations is the same Allah who forgives the sin of the moment they turn back sincerely. So what can we learn? Protect your eyes, guard your ears, limit the music that weakens your heart, avoid gatherings that mix temptation with entertainment. Keep your heart connected to Allah, purify your environment, stay away from the footsteps of Shaytaan. Not just the sin itself, surround yourself with righteous company, strengthen your iman through Quran, and dua, ask Allah every day to keep your heart firm. Because if the first zina required only whispers, beats, and beauty, and if the modern world delivers all of that to you without even leaving your room, then more than ever, we need taqwa to survive. The story of the first zina is not a tale of the past. It is a mirror, and when we look into it, we must ask ourselves, are we repeating the same steps? Are we playing the same music? Are we walking the same path? But hope remains. Allah has promised that whoever leaves something for his sake, he will replace it with something better. Whoever guards their chastity, Allah honors them. Whoever repents, Allah wipes their sins completely. And whoever purifies their heart, Allah fills it with light. This story began with corruption, but it ends with a reminder. No matter how powerful Shaytaan's plans may seem, Allah's mercy is more powerful. And anyone who chooses sincerity, tawbah, and protection will be saved, no matter how much fitnah fills the earth. Before you scroll away, take a moment and really think. What happened to that first community didn't begin with Zina. It began with small steps, small distractions, and small openings in the heart. Are we not seeing the same signs today? Music everywhere, desires constantly triggered, modesty fading, and people treating serious sins as entertainment. Ask yourself honestly, which footsteps are you following? And more importantly, which footsteps do you want your children to follow? If this story woke something inside you, then share it with someone who needs this reminder. Maybe Allah will guide a heart through you. Comment below with one reflection, something you learned, something you want to change, or a reminder you want others to read. Your words might save someone from a path they don't realize they're walking. And if you want more content that protects your iman, your heart, and your family, make sure you like this video, subscribe, and turn on notifications. These reminders are not just information. They are shields in a world full of temptation. May Allah protect our eyes, our ears, and our hearts. May He guard us from the footsteps of Shaytaan. May He purify us with tawbah and fill our homes with light. Ameen. If you like this video and want to learn more about good ways to communicate with respect and kindness, then like this video to support the message. Subscribe so you don't miss any future videos. Share this video with your loved ones so that together we can spread more kindness. Thanks for watching all the way to the end. Tell me in comments what question has ever made you uncomfortable and how you'd like people to communicate with you. See you soon for a new video.